In August, former U.S. Marine Paul Whelan, finally back on American soil after being held prisoner in Russia for more than 5 years. He had been wrongly convicted on charges of espionage, charges which President Biden called false. I spoke with Paul Whelan for his first interview with NBC News since the U.S. released 24 Russians in order to free Paul and 3 other Americans, including Evan Gershkovich. We talked about how he survived in a Russian prison camp and what it's like now being a free man. Paul, welcome back. How are you feeling? How are you doing?
You know, returning. 5 years, 7 months, 5 days as a hostage in Russia in extremely poor conditions. It takes a toll.
Do you have flashbacks?
You know, I do. When I look online especially and I see pictures of me in court, it takes me back to the camp, it takes me back to the court and the things that were happening there.
Do you have trouble sleeping?
I do. And the reason I have trouble sleeping is the entire time I was being held hostage, the Russians interrupted my sleep. They harassed me in the labor camp. At Lefortovo in Moscow, they always kept a light on, you know, in my cell 24 hours a day.
24 hours a day?
24 hours a day. Every night they came and they woke me up. It's a mild form of sleep deprivation. It's a mild form of torture.
It doesn't sound mild.
Yeah, it's difficult. If I see a bright light or anything like that, it reminds me of having a flashlight shined in my face.
What was it like when you were arrested? Out of the blue. You were there as a tourist in Moscow. You were visiting friends, coming to a wedding. When
the FSB stormed into my room and arrested me, it was a shock. And at first I thought it might be a joke. They said I had committed espionage, and I knew from what they were doing, the things they were saying, their tactics, that they were trying to get a quick confession, and they were trying to lead me down a road that, you know, was completely false, but also it was all made up. It was a sham.
It's the Cold War all over again.
Well, I don't think the Cold War ever really ended. Everything comes from the FSB, and Putin controls the FSB.
Did they try to make you give a confession?
They did several times, and it was kind of laughable. I was in Lefortovo prison.
That's a notorious prison.
It's known for the shooting gallery, where they would take prisoners to shoot them.
Did you think you had been abandoned by your country, or did they let you see someone from the embassy?
The only time that I really felt that I was abandoned was the second time that I was left behind.
When you got sentenced to such a long sentence, you know, what went through your mind? I'm stuck here forever?
The 16-year sentence was a joke. It was a situation that I understood to be a kidnap and ransom.
And then other Americans are taken.
Yeah.
Trevor Reed. And he gets out. And then you get left behind. And then Brittany Griner. And she gets out. What was going through your mind?
The Russians kept changing the goalposts. They kept changing their demands and changing what they wanted.
Were there moments of total depression and distress?
I think the worst was when my dog died. Many, many times. I'd say goodbye to my dog, and then I'd come home, and there she would be, right? When she died, she was 15 years and 4 days. When she died, you know, that meant that when I got home, it wasn't going to be the same home that I left. You know, things had changed.
What was your dog's name?
Flora. When I would call my parents, I would call from Russia, and I would speak. And my dog could hear my voice over the phone.
Really?
She'd walk to the phone, and she'd stand there wagging her tail. And people would put the phone down to her ear, and she would hear me speak to her. She'd wag her tail. She knew exactly who it was.
What about your health, your food? What'd you eat?
The Russian food in general is not great. The prison food is even worse. They give you a watery soup and fish that only the Russians eat. And to be quite honest, it was horrible. And, people are just left there to suffer.
And what were the guards like?
Russia is a corrupt society. The prisons are a direct reflection of the society. And the guards always had their hand out. Nobody wanted to do their job unless they received a pack of cigarettes.
Were you aware when Navalny died in prison? How did you feel?
We were told that he had died of natural causes. When the Russians say natural causes, they mean either somebody whacked the guy or he committed suicide.
Did you ever think of suicide?
No, I was fighting too much. I knew the whole thing was false. I knew I was a hostage. I wasn't going to give them the satisfaction of me committing suicide. So every day I tried to stick it to them.
Once you knew that Victor Bout had been traded for Brittany Griner, did that make you worry that there was nobody else that the U.S. could trade?
It was devastating to hear the news because, and I completely understood that the U.S. had given up their negotiating position. I had to go down to the prison control room and use a telephone to call my parents and tell them what was happening and reassure them that, you know, the U.S. would leave no stone unturned to get me back.
That was hard.
That was difficult because I wasn't sure when they would get me back.
When you got to the airport and got on an airplane, what was that like?
We're sitting on the tarmac, and, you know, Evan's there with me, Alsu's there with me. In the back of my mind, I was thinking, okay, today is the day I could be going home. And, you know, I reserved, you know, any exhilarating feelings for later in the day.
What was that homecoming like?
I didn't realize that we were flying to Andrews to see the president. You know, I was obviously wearing clothes that I'd been arrested in. They hadn't been washed in years. I hadn't shaved for a number of days because I'd been in solitary confinement. I hadn't showered in 2 weeks because they wouldn't let me shower. So, you know, I didn't really feel that I was dressed appropriately to meet the President of the United States. I was malnourished. I'm holding on to the railing. You know, I waved and then did a salute. But, you know, what was going through my mind wasn't that the President of the United States was standing there, or the media was there, or family members were there, but I didn't want to fall down those steps.
And then the President did something very unusual.
Yeah. And as we were, you know, kibitzing, he took this flag, this lapel pin, off his lapel and put it onto my shirt.
And how did that make you feel?
It cemented my feeling that, you know, America had not lost hope in me, and I hadn't lost hope in them, and that, you know, the U.S. government had done what they said they would, bring me home.
And now that you know the details of this giant trade, it was the biggest trade since the Cold War. What does that mean to you?
There has to be diplomacy with foreign countries. And unfortunately, rogue nations like China, Russia, North Korea, we have to work harder to make sure that those diplomatic relationships are strong. If they're not, people resort to taking hostages. But our president, he needs to be strong. She needs to be strong.
Do you worry, as some critics have said, that these trades will encourage other rogue leaders, dictators, to grab more Americans, more innocent people from other countries as bargaining chips?
Well, in Russia, the only thing that Putin could do to help us, as well as help his people, is to drop dead of a heart attack.
You lost your home, you lost 5.5 years of your life, your job. How do you rebuild?
I'm 54, trying to get a job at this age. You know, it's difficult. I might have to find something new, reinvent myself, as it were.